Hi, everyone. We'll get started. We're really excited about this webinar to help you make this the best of SocialAi. Thank you so much for coming. This webinar is actually exclusively for SocialAi users. It was not open to the public, so we're really glad that you were able to join us. I'm Shoshana Dubow, the Sales Apps Manager here at Auto Leadstar.
And I'm Alex Joseph. I'm a product manager with SocialAi.
So in this webinar, we're going to talk about kind of how we see SocialAi fitting into your marketing strategy. We'll go over some best practices. And then at the end, we'll talk a little bit about what's coming up with the product. So if you have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to submit them through the questions panel, and we'll answer them at the end. So let's jump in. To get started, let's first just go over some basic stats about social to give some context to the product and how we really think about social here. So first of all, let's look at some stats. 40% of car buyers and 35% of service customers are actually using Facebook to read dealership reviews. Now, we all know how important dealership reviews are for the industry and really for every business. And people on Facebook are really using that platform to find the reviews they're looking for. We also know that a quarter of new vehicle purchasers in the US are using Twitter as one of the pieces of input to their vehicle purchase decision. And finally, 44% of sales customers and as high as 47% of service customers who have a Twitter account actually follow a dealership on Twitter, and they do that for access to offers and discounts. So while organic content on Facebook and Twitter may not often directly lead to a sale, it's clearly a part of the shopping process for many customers. So we've established that people are looking at your social media pages, right? And you're all savvy dealers, you already know all about this. Now, imagine if somebody's interested in your dealership and they come to visit your Facebook page or your Twitter feed, and they see that nothing's been posted in a few weeks. So that makes it seem like your dealership isn't active, which is obviously not the message that you want to send. You really want your pages to look alive, really happening and completely filled with buzz, so that people feel like if they engage with you on social media, there's someone there to answer them. Right? Like if they go to your page and see nothing and then go to your competitor's page and see a really active feed, they're probably going to choose that dealership to reach out to. So it doesn't send a good message if your pages are inactive. But at the same time, you really don't want to focus a lot of your energy on posting. You want it to be there, you want it to look alive, but that's not where you want to be spending your time. And in terms of what content to post, you also want the content to be really varied, right? You don't always want to be posting the same kind of posts, a lot of salesy things. You don't only want content that your OEM is pushing to your page, because that'll make your page look just the same as every other dealer in your OEM. You want the content to be interesting and also really to speak to shoppers who are at all stages of the buying process. Some people might be coming to your page really early on, and they just want to, get a sense for who you are and build a level of trust. So you're all really smart, savvy dealers, and you already know that social is important. That's obviously not new to you. What we wanted to go over is really why we developed SocialAi, the thinking behind it, and really what we saw is missing in a dealership toolkit, and therefore talk about how SocialAi can really be maximized to help you be more efficient. So the way that we think about it is that 70% of the content that you should post on Facebook can really be called filler content. And that's stuff that can be generated automatically. So things like reviews, both of your dealership and vehicles, posts about your inventory, offers, and news, industry news or local news. And that's what SocialAi is giving you right now, right? It's freeing up your time and energy for everything else that your digital marketing team is responsible for. For example, paid advertising, which obviously goes a really long way. And now the other 30% of your posts should be more custom content, right? So what are some examples of that? Pictures of the family that just bought a new vehicle from your dealership. Some posts about special events that your dealership might be running. Live videos we know are really powerful. Facebook actually found that people spend 3 times more time watching live broadcasts than traditional videos. And that's because there's this sense of excitement when a video is live and happening in the moment and people can see it unfold right then and there. And we know that Facebook promotes live videos more than standard organic posts. So you can make live videos of a new car just coming into your inventory, showing the interior of a vehicle, etc. So to bring it all together, SocialAi is really pulling that 70% filler content for you. So it's right at your fingertips and ready for you to post. And that way, you're able to spend your resources on creating the custom content that's really highly engaging and on other high-value marketing activities like paid on Facebook and all the other digital marketing that your team is working on, while still keeping your page active and completely alive. So the content that we provide is really high quality. There are endless options. And while it's automated, it still has a human feel. So, the captions that we provide you with, as you're familiar with, are really human sounding. The content is completely personalized. So while it's automated, we make sure to maintain that human feel and strike the right balance. So with that background, I'm going to hand it over to Alex, who's going to share some best practices and how you can use SocialAi.
Okay. So first of all, we have a lot of different types of content on SocialAi, and we suggest that you post a pretty reasonable variety of content types. And one thing that makes this really easy is to just kind of deselect all of them and do a models post, and then you can move over to the next category, and that way you can make sure to kind of like mix things up quite a lot. So this is a test account that we have, so you'll see just like a ton of posts in one day randomly. So like when our developers are testing things out, they send out a million a million posts. So but this is nice to see, like dealership reviews, my inventory, OEM content. You can kind of keep an eye over here to make sure that there's a reasonable amount of a variety here. The next thing is to post consistently. We don't recommend frequently because that's kind of a different topic. Nobody really knows what is the Facebook algorithm. Most experts do agree that 1 or 2 Facebook posts per day provide enough opportunity for engagement without bugging people too much. And it looks like, the lights are on, somebody's there, it looks like you're going to respond to them. But by the same token, you're not kind of wasting your effort posting 10 posts when, it might or might not end up in somebody's newsfeed. So like 1 or 2 posts a day looks really, really good on a Facebook page. Next thing is, we think it makes a lot of sense to load up your feed for a few days at a time. And this kind of goes along with our view that that 70% filler content is not something that should take a lot of your time. You all have plenty other things to do in your lives, and this should just be like boom, 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 post a bunch of things, don't spend time on it. So this is something that you can just spend time doing on Monday morning and have the whole rest of your week planned out, and then just get back to all of those kind of higher impact things that move the needle. So if it helps you, set a timer for Monday morning and just say 9 a.m. fill up your feed for 15 minutes and move on to the higher impact activities that you all have. Also, this smart schedule that we have, you'll notice here, so you have a little explanation of what smart schedule is. Basically, it's just a little AI tool that figures out the right time to post on Facebook. So if you always use smart schedule, and here you can see it's turned on because that little icon is lit up and it's telling me what time it's going to post. And I'm just going to add to timeline. Oops. I'm going to add a caption, add to timeline. And if you do that all the time, it will always make sure that you have 1 or 2 posts every day, and that they're kind of, at times spread out. There are times that are optimized for your audience, but at the same time, it's not going to be at like 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 2 p.m. It's going to be at kind of like human looking time. So here, 11:32 or 9:27. Like these were sent right after each other, and I'm not sure that this was this looks like it was not smart scheduled, but anyway, if you always use smart schedule, it will always choose the right time to post for you and with the optimum frequency. Also, this is a very new product, new to us, new to you guys, and we are constantly releasing new features and switching around the user experience. So a few notes on that. One, we always really, really want to hear from you about what you think about these new features. If you like the old version or if you like the new version better, or if you want to know what's on our roadmap, if there's some features that you think belong in SocialAi and you don't see them, and maybe it's on our roadmap, maybe it's not. Like, we always love for you to reach out. And I'll just bring your attention to this little chat window here. You can always chat with me. I will personally write back to you. So I'll show you a few new features. One thing that we've heard from a few different customers is that, like, let's see, let's go to news. Tired of seeing it, so I'm just going to hide this post. And that way a new news item will be generated in its place, and it won't be like clogging up your feed anymore. So little things like that. Like, also, we just added this search bar for filters, and it's actually pretty cool. So I can search for anything, really anything, any term that you're looking for. For instance, Tahoe, and you can see that Tahoe relates to a few different categories. I have OEM incentive for Tahoe. I have a VDP. There's a model, and also there's a vehicle review. So if Tahoe is something that you want to post about, that search bar is a really great way of doing that. But also, by the same token, you can do review. Oh, it did. You can do parts of words. You don't have to write the full word. Things up. So I just did TRA, and so that brings up tracks. It brings up. So another thing that we want to, for your 70% of your content, like you still want to be posting like happy customer videos and Facebook Live things, and you want to be reaching out to people. Like, there's so much to do. So this is really like filling a hole, but hopefully our vision is for you to like get in, do what you need to do, and get back. I also wanted to give you a little bit of visibility into our roadmap, and you all can tell me if there's something that is missing here. We have many, many more things coming in the next few months. So first of all, in the coming weeks, you'll see some improvements to, we hope, improvements to the user experience for the editor. The editor is this view. So some little details of the way this looks will be different in the coming weeks, and we hope it'll make it a lot clearer how to do this. We also are going to let you create a custom post, so you'll be able to upload your own photos and your own videos, that kind of thing. We are also always thinking of new types of content, more engaging types of content, so keep a lookout for that. You will also be able to edit a post after you scheduled it. So for instance, here I posted all these things, but what if I put on the wrong caption or something? I want to change the caption. So I will be able to click here and edit it. And that's pretty much it. Now would be a great time if anybody has some questions. We would love to take them.
We do have some questions submitted, so we'll get started with those, but feel free to submit any others that you might have. One question that came in is asking about where local news comes from. So the answer to that question is it comes from Google News. We search by your city and state to pull all relevant news for your area. And we also try to filter out bad news. So obviously, there's some news that you probably won't want to share. So we do our best to make sure that doesn't come up in your feed. Let us know if you see anything that shouldn't be there. And you can also use that hide post feature that Alex showed before. And if you don't see any local news sometimes, just check back the next day and it'll refresh, which actually takes us nicely into our next question. Somebody wanted to know how often their feed updates.
Right, so your feed actually updates every 24 hours. What that means is not necessarily that you're going to see completely different content every 24 hours, but let's say for news, like you just said, like we scan for new news every 24 hours, or for posts that relate to your VDP, we take your top performing VDPs on your site, but that can change day to day. So in general, you will always have the most up-to-date version of those top VDPs. So like whatever, if this like particular Camaro VDP goes down in performance, in a few days you won't see that on SocialAi. And that goes for all the different types of content.
Awesome. Okay, one more question. Somebody said, Alex mentioned about, suggestions and feedback. What's the best way to communicate that? So you can definitely reach out to us through the chat tool that is on the product. Alex will answer those questions right there. And you can also email us if you'd like at socialai@autoleadstar.com. Feel free to call us too. Our number is 216-242-1320. And we'd be very happy to answer any of your questions.
Okay, we have a new question here.
So another question came in about the new Facebook algorithm and providing more content. So that's actually very high up in our roadmap. We are currently thinking about a lot of new ways to make the content more engaging. Obviously, that's super important that your content is appearing in people's feeds and getting engagement. So we're always thinking about what types of content will have the highest likelihood of getting that. And we always welcome ideas. So if you have particular suggestions for the type of content that we should be offering, then definitely send them our way. And at the same time, we also, like we mentioned before, SocialAi keeps your pages active. So, even if it's not necessarily appearing in everybody's news feeds, the goal of SocialAi is to make sure that when people come to visit your page, it's loaded up with lots of great content that's personalized and looks really great.
Right. Like not every post needs to like hit it out of the park. And like we said, I mean, basically, I think that 30% of the content should hit it out of the park and 70% should look really good, really professional, really human as much as possible. And it's really there for people when they go to your Facebook and they think, oh, these people clearly are going to, be a pleasure to do business with.
Great.
Cool.
So we're getting some more suggestions on some types of content to add. So yeah, please, thank you for your suggestions and keep them coming. We'd love to hear them and we will implement them to make the product even better than it already is.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming today. It was great speaking with you and we look forward to working together more.
Yeah. And I just want to like repeat again that like any email or like chat that you send me, I personally will read and respond to you. So yeah, reach out. Okay, thanks guys.
Bye.